Hi, this is Sarah from Permanent Record Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/permrecordpodcast.
Thanks, Sarah. This is Brian from the Permanent Record Podcast, and you can find us on the internet at www.permanentrecordpodcast.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter account is at PermRecordPod.
That's all great info. Thanks, Sarah. Here's the Rocket Dudes.
Blue Zone Podcast Network presents Permanent Record, an in-depth look at the classic albums of the 70s and 80s. Albums which have earned a permanent place of honor both in our hearts and in our record collections.
All right, I'm over here on my side of the desk just shoving Tiny Tate's holiday chocolate chip cookies in my mouth, trying to get some last-minute nourishment as we prepare to wrap up a discussion of Erasure's Christmas EP, Crackers International. My name is Brian.
And I am Sarah.
And what's going on down there on your end of the table, Sarah?
Well, I've just got a glass of ice water, but I am looking at a big box of very festive Christmas crackers, which is wonderful considering the album we're discussing.
Yeah, that's true. And I was thinking about that last week. I was going to mention that, and then I forgot to. But at the time that Crackers International came out, I didn't even really know what a Christmas cracker was.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, what are they, just like kind of snacks or something?
Yeah. I had no clue what the significance of the title was. I thought it was a cool title, Crackers International.
Yeah,
but I didn't understand its connection to the holidays.
Right. Yeah, we were unaware of Christmas crackers for most of our lives. I don't know when we finally found out what they were and how they're used. And now they're over here, and we've been using them and having fun with them for the past several years at Christmas.
They are a lot of fun. So, if you are returning from our last episode, you know what we're talking about, Erasure. It's a 4-song EP released just in time for the Christmas season back in 1988.
Right.
And speaking of the Christmas season, before we get started, we just want to remind everybody about our Christmas giveaway that we're doing.
That's right. Yeah, we're excited about that. Actually, we had 2 giveaways, and I think the first one is now done. I think you did have a taker for the download code for the Human League Dare album.
We did, yep, and I'm glad that went to a good home.
Yes, that's good. But the other one is still up for grabs, the never opened vinyl copy of Thompson Twins' Into the Gap, the 1984 release, which we spent 3 episodes talking about earlier this year.
3 great episodes, in my opinion.
Fantastic, yeah.
Fantastic record discussed by 2 fantastic people.
Right. Yes, we're just wonderful. But if you haven't gotten a copy of that yet for yourself, or maybe you don't have it on vinyl and would like it, the way you can try to get it is to send us a comment somehow on one of our many various forms of communication. We've got our Facebook page, we've got the website, which has an email associated with it, or you can just comment right on the page.
Well, no, that's not true. That will be too hard to keep track of.
Okay.
Either an email, a direct email to us. You can get our email address at the start of the show or on our webpage. Or you can send us a Facebook message directly to us. Don't post something on the wall of our Facebook page, but actually send us a message. You can also use Twitter direct message. That would work too. So any of those 3 methods, Facebook message, I always call it Facebook email. It's really not Facebook email, but it's close enough. Facebook email, Twitter direct message, or a regular email. Any 3 of those methods would work. And we're going to leave this open until Boxing Day, the day after Christmas.
That's right.
And then on that day, we will pick our winner randomly from everyone who took the time to send a note. And the point of the note is we're just asking, what was your favorite album that we talked about this year out of all the albums that we
that's
talked
right.
about?
I think that's a good question, and I think we should maybe talk about it ourselves at some point.
Maybe we will.
Cool.
Maybe we will. But for now, let's get back to Erasure.
Yes, we do need to finish our discussion on this little albumette, also known as an EP.
That's right. So last week we talked about 2 songs because that's all there was on side 1. And this week on side 2 we have another 2 songs. And the first one is a song that I really, really enjoy. It's called Knocking on Your Door.
Oh, yeah.
Love to see me shiver. You like to see me break down. I just got to hide my face, won't see your satisfaction. You know it's down to you. You know this thing I'm going through. I can't take it anymore. I don't wanna come back. Knocking on your door, down there on the floor. I don't wanna come back. Knocking on your door.
Here in the U.S., that was a number 4 dance track on a double A-side single with the first song on side 1, Stop.
Oh, yeah.
So in my opinion, Stop is, that does deserve to be a number 4 single. Knocking at Your Door deserves to be a number one dance single in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I love both of these songs. I love both the dance tracks on this little EP. And I think I might agree with you that this is even a better dance song than Stop.
Oh, this song is so good.
It's
so good.
It's so much fun. It's so fast-paced, exciting. It's almost manic. It's just so exciting.
My initial thought every time I hear this tune is, why was this not a huge hit? Because I'm fairly confident that had Vince written this song back in his Yazoo days, this would have been massive.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds, the sound of it, the keyboards in it, the percussion in it, sounds a little more up to date, in quotes, than on Yaz. But the individual song components here really aren't too different than some of the really classic Vince songs that we all know and love so much, like Don't Go or Walk Away from Love.
Okay.
It's really a similar song, I think.
I
just
can
is
see
a little
that.
more updated.
Yeah, updated music styles and instrumentation.
Now, lyrically, I know last week we criticized the record a little bit
Yeah.
from its kind of rushed lyrics, almost as if they weren't too concerned with the words as they were coming up with them. I think that trend sort of continues with this song, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
But with this song, I don't really care as much.
That's pretty much the same feeling I have. Yeah. I don't think that the lyrics are anything. They're not awe-inspiring, but they're not terrible. They're not noticeably bad. The only line I have a little bit of a problem with is Down There on the Floor, but that's okay. This song, I don't think it matters too much that their lyrics are just average.
Yeah, I agree. The pace is so frantic.
Right.
And the keyboard voices are so Vince Clarke-ish, such
Yeah.
like primal Vince Clarke.
Oh, yeah.
That the accompaniment really steals the show with this song.
Yeah,
And
and-
you're not as focused.
You were just excited about dancing to this song. You don't really care what he's singing about.
Right, that's true. And as long as the words are not ridiculously bad,
Right.
like being hung on a hook,
Yes.
as long as they don't draw attention to themselves,
Yes.
we're good.
Yes,
with
I
this
agree.
one, I feel.
I agree. Yep.
And another thing that is important to make the song succeed is the vocal melody as well.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that Andy and Vince probably came through with a really, really great vocal melody this time. This song is great to listen to, and it's super fun to sing along with.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's fast to sing along to, but it's a lot of fun. I really like Andy's delivery in this song.
Me too.
The whole way through, there's a lot of different components that he does very well. I think he gets across the feeling of kind of being frantic and frustrated without sounding out of control. You know, even you can hear him taking breaths between some of the phrases, and that kind of helps get the feeling across, like, you know, just so anxious and frustrated and needs to get this energy and frustration out somehow.
Yeah, and he has some really nice harmony vocals in
Oh,
here too,
wonderful.
like
Yeah.
peppered throughout there.
Because they're so high and they're kind of almost wailing sounds, they kind of, I think, help add to the feeling of frustration, believe it or not. I love when he sings with that little section that you put in there, Satisfaction.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it just sweeps up there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'll play that. I'll pop that in right here again just to remind everybody.
Hide my face, won't see your satisfaction.
I also like that part with breakdown. Love to see
Yes,
me
the,
shiver.
the
Like to see me
repeating
break down.
phrases. Yeah, breakdown. Yeah,
Those
yeah.
things both sound really good, and they both lend themselves to make a dance song even more exciting
Yeah.
than it already is. Mm-hmm. You know what I did think was weird about this, though?
Tell me.
This track is actually 1 second longer than Stop,
Okay.
but I always thought this was like a super short, the shortest song on the album.
Uh-huh.
But today when I was looking at my total track time on my phone as I was listening to the
Yeah.
songs, I realized it's actually a second longer.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. We talked about Stop not feeling very short. Like it feels like a regular length song, and yet this one is a second longer. And to me, this one does feel short, but not too short. I mean, you're ready for it to be done because it's just taken you on such a journey. You're almost exhausted by the end.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. It's such a fun journey. As a youth, I always wished that this song was longer, but I thought that the Mark Saunders remix of
Yeah.
it was too long.
Okay.
I wanted like a happy medium.
That's like 7 minutes or something.
It's like,
It's really long.
it's 6 something.
Okay.
I forgot to write it down. But that brings me to 2 little tidbits of information I discovered today.
Okay.
One about Stop. I brought up the fact that Stop was a second shorter
Yeah.
for a reason. And also about different mixes of this song.
Okay.
I was sitting around and I, just for the heck of it, dug out my Erasure Box 3 from
Yeah.
the UK. You know, those Erasure box sets?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the gray boxes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I remembered that one of the discs in that third box has Crackers International on it.
Oh, okay.
We've been listening to the US version of it for this podcast, and that's what I was listening to on my phone.
Yeah.
And I found a couple interesting things out when I looked at that UK disc.
Okay.
Instead, our version of the EP has this mix that we're talking about of this song that I said I always wished was a little longer. And it had the, here it is, 6 minutes and 7 seconds long Mark Saunders remix, which I always thought was a little too long. In the UK, there was a 12-inch mix that clocks in at a very respectable 4 minutes.
Oh, okay.
This middle-length mix has a very nice, kind of slow, atmospheric introduction that builds up to the song. So probably about like the first 30 seconds of it are just kind of the keyboard voices, kind of like, and parts coming in, and it sounds really neat.
Oh, that's
a really good version. It's much better than the extended version we get here in the U.S.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. I wish I knew about it before we were talking about this, because I'd love to know the comparison. It's very interesting to me that it starts off kind of slower than this one, and yet it doesn't detract from the excitement of the song as it builds up.
That time that it kind of slowly fades into it, that's time for people to put their drinks down at the bar and then make their way to the dance floor.
Oh, you've got it all planned out.
That way they don't miss anything.
Okay, very good.
And then the other thing I noticed that was interesting, at least to me, your mileage may vary. I also noticed that while our U.S. version of Stop is 2 minutes and 55 seconds, 1 second shorter than this, the version on the UK CD is 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
Really?
Yep. So I was like, what's the difference?
Why did they bother?
So I listened to it, and the difference is that our US version fades out at the end.
Oh,
and this UK version kind of chugs along a little bit more, and then just has a really abrupt, cold ending. Like it doesn't fade at all.
Like it just stops.
So for some reason, I was unaware about it. I didn't really ever realize that we had different mixes. But I do like that UK version better. It's a little more exciting because you don't have... The fade on the American version is actually a very long fade. It starts fading a long time, like maybe 20 seconds before the end.
Oh, wow.
The fade is actually this faded version is the one that's on the video we talked about last week. I would have thought that since that video would be mainly shown in the UK, they would have used the UK version.
Yeah, that's really peculiar.
But they didn't. But just a couple differences that I found between the US and the UK mixes.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's very helpful information. And it's so strange to me when they do a different version of a song that ends up being like, 6 seconds different from another song. I'm like, really?
I know.
Why was that necessary? I mean, it's fine. It's cool. But it's like, that's a lot of trouble to go to just for, 6 seconds.
Yeah, really.
I do like the remix that appears on the CD. It's my kind of remix just because I am such a traditionalist when it comes to remixes. I like when you can definitely tell what song it is.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The remixes that have come out in the past, 10, 15 years, I'm not as fond of, and I guess maybe this is a little bit long, but it's still not that long compared to, some remixes.
Oh, yeah, right. I mean, we have like an 8-minute version of Master and Survey, and I think we have like a 13-minute version of Enjoy the Silence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So 6 minutes isn't much compared to those, but...
It's pretty long compared to the original song, obviously.
True.
So...
One of my favorite things in life, though, is the super sweet riff that it plays immediately after the first 2 lines of the verses in the song.
Oh, the kind of horn-like keyboards? Yep. Yeah, those kind of remind me of words.
That is, you would not believe how happy I get to hear that song. It is, in just a few seconds, Vince Clarke sums up everything that I love about his music with that riff.
Yeah.
The actual notes that he plays, the sounds that he plays them in, the high-speed tempo of the riff. Oh, it's perfect Vince Clarke.
And he just seems to kind of pull it out of thin air.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Like, that is just his specialty. Just kind of like, here's a little riff. I'm going to throw that in there for you. Enjoy that. He does that so well, and I, like no one else I know.
I know. And then he's like, oh, did you like that? Oh, I have like a dozen more right here in my back pocket. I'll play these now.
Yeah. And even in this song, we hear stuff that I don't necessarily remember listening to because there's just so much going on. This is another one of those songs that there's so much going on almost from the get-go. I mean, it's by about 14 seconds in, it's already built up to like all these different keyboards racing around in the background, little sounds going back and forth from one channel to the other, and those horn synths, and they're just wonderful. And of course, can't forget the drums.
Oh, yes. Another high point in this track, in my opinion.
Yeah, that driving drum beat, it starts early and it doesn't let up. We get that great build up at about 12 seconds. We get a little pitter-patter fill-in right before that pre-chorus, the what's up to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, of course, the knocking percussion after the phrase knocking on your door.
Yep.
It's terrific.
I love that part.
And don't you just want to put your hand into a fist and knock along with
Yep.
it? Dun, dun, dun,
Yep,
dun,
I
dun,
always
dun.
do that.
Yeah.
The drum tracks are so sweet in this song, and they're fantastic the whole way through. There's not a single dull section of this song.
No.
They did a great job programming these drums.
Yeah, they did. And the way it ends, with the kind of the like breaking glass sounds and everything, is just kind of everything comes to a crashing halt.
Yeah.
That's a really cool effect, a really neat way to end the song.
The last time we talked, I said something that I noticed a step backwards in terms of production on this album.
Oh, really? That's
Remember
right.
when compared to like The Innocents?
Yes.
And I still think that's true. I still think that it's not quite as polished, and that's because of the fact that Stephen Hague is not involved with this record. Like I think you mentioned last time that Erasure actually produced this
That's
one.
correct. Yeah.
And the great thing, I think, is that this song actually works better because of the fact it's not quite as polished. Had Steven worked on this track, I think he would have stripped away or covered up a lot of the truly Vince Clarke qualities of this song.
Oh.
And it's those Vince Clarke qualities that makes me love it so much. And I tried to figure out a way to try to explain to you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
If you listen on The Innocents, if you listen to Weight of the World or Ship of Fools, you're going to hear these like kind of mature production qualities that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I love those two songs, but sometimes I just want to hear something that isn't as polished and something that's along the lines of like Victim of Love or Who
Okay.
Needs Love Like That.
Okay.
That's what I think this song gives us. Maybe it's a little bit fuller sounding than those two older songs, Who
Yeah.
Needs Love and Victim of Love.
Yeah.
There's more sound to this one.
Yes.
But it doesn't have that high gloss polish that you found on a lot of the songs on The Innocents.
Okay.
And I think that makes it more exciting. Because even though
It's a little more raw.
The Innocents is a great album. It's probably, well, I don't know, it could be Erasure's best album. I don't know, but there is no song on it that really is like a Vince Clarke, Who Needs Love Like That, Oh L'Amour like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be. Like everything just sounds a little bit more mature than all those songs, and there's nothing
Cleaned
that's
up.
as dance floor friendly.
Yeah.
There are danceable songs,
Yeah.
but there's nothing that's
Yeah.
written specifically for the dance floor.
That's true. And it's not what I think of as a dance album.
Right.
I mean,
and they go back to it then, I think,
they
like
do.
Drama.
Yeah, Wild has
Wild is
quite a few
awesome.
tracks on there that you can definitely picture yourself dancing to very easily.
Right. So I always thought that, I hope I'm saying his name right, Stephen Hague. I've always thought that he was more concerned on giving them a pop, going in the pop direction,
Yeah.
and less in the dance direction.
That's probably a good assessment. Yeah, I would agree. I know what you mean. Hadn't really thought about that, but when you bring it up, I agree that they are more polished. This is, like I said, more raw, more just, I don't know, tense, and it's just got a lot of stuff, and just you kind of feel like the edges are more visible here.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's fun.
So in closing, on this fantastic track, I just want to say this is a song that I would include on a Vince Clarke sampler if somebody tasked me with coming up with a 10-song compilation to introduce somebody to Vince's sound. We only have a few more years of him writing songs that sound like this before he kind of goes away into different directions.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I wish that this one would have been a single here in the U.S. And I guess it sort of was, since it was a double A side.
Yeah.
But I wish the focus had been this song and not Stop, because I think that it would have been the best song on this entire album if the Christmas spirit hadn't worked its magic on Vince and Andy and prompted them to come up with this next song, the last song on side 2.
Okay.
And it's a song called She Won't Be Home.
Stars in the night, there is one there shining bright. Shine bright for me this lonely Christmas. And I wanted to say to you how much I want to be with you. I wanted to say to you how much I need to be.
Oh, what a lovely, lovely song.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it's just so pretty. Such a nice feel to it, just a nice atmosphere, and yet it's not a happy song.
No, not really.
It's funny. We talk about that a lot, where we get these songs that have these beautiful, happy, kind of joyous vibes to them, and the subject matter is not really happy and joyous at all.
Yep, we talked about that last week with Last Christmas.
That's right.
And that's the case with so many well-loved Christmas songs. I'll Be Home for Christmas.
That's true.
When
yeah.
you think about it,
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Yeah. And you just don't really always think about it because you're just used to those songs being here at Christmas time, and you
Yeah.
forget the real meaning of them.
Yeah, so this is a really cool song that they've done. I really, just from the beginning, it's a really interesting sound. Those horns, You're going to laugh.
Okay.
They remind me of walruses. But they just sound kind of like big walruses. And then we get this very nice, light, contrasting sound with those bells, and then some lovely warm strings. We get a couple of drum beats and a tambourine, which is interesting. And then we get the classic Erasure gallop.
Yep.
That's what I call it.
Yeah.
That's the beat that you know it's an Erasure song. That is like a typical classic little keyboard drum beat kind of pattern. Dun,
Yep.
dun, 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 dun. It's like that's what I call the Erasure gallop. And you gave a good sample of it there.
We're on exactly the same page with this. My notes for this little intro are within the first 10 seconds, it's obvious that this is a special song. The horn coupled with that descending bell sounding keyboard gets you primed for a beautiful holiday ballad. Then it kicks into one of the most Erasure sounding bits of accompaniment that I can imagine.
Yes. Yeah, you wouldn't have guessed in the first 10, 15 seconds that this is an Erasure song. There's nothing here that gives that away. And then we get the dun, 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 dun. It's like, oh, okay, well, we know this is Vince and Andy.
Yep.
I just love the bell keyboards in here. Obviously they give the song a very nice holiday feel, and they're just so well done. There's also some really interesting, almost voice-like keyboards that come in just for a few notes during the verses. Right before they sing, he sings, "Here Comes Another Lonely Christmas," and right before he sings, "Shine Bright for Me."
Shine bright for me, this lonely Christmas.
Just about 3 or 4 notes that you can hear and that sound kind of like voices.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember what you're talking about, but I'll have to plug something in here so we can remind everybody.
Okay. Might be hard to hear, but hopefully you can when I point it out like that. Andy's performance, his vocal performance here is it's really, really nice. I think he does a great job of delivering the song with a tinge of melancholy. You know, the lyrics obviously have melancholy in them, but even if you didn't pay attention to the words, I think you can get the sense just from how he's singing that there's a little bit of sadness to this song.
Oh, very true. Especially in his chorus vocals. He does accomplish that in the verses, but not nearly as much as he hits it in the chorus. I agree completely.
Yeah.
I think that this is his vocal high point on the EP, this track.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think he's got a really good command of his voice here and the emotions that he's trying to portray with his voice.
And I think he must have sensed that there was something truly special about this track because he nails it.
Yeah, and the harmony in the chorus is so pretty. And because I love the harmony and I love the chorus, and I actually never really realized all the excellent keyboard riffs that are going on behind Andy's vocals in the chorus. I was listening very carefully.
It's Vince Clarke.
Yeah, I know, of course. Why wouldn't there be? But there's so much more going on than you may realize. That if you just focus on the vocals, there's a lot of neat little sounds going on. And at the end of the chorus, we get some brief guitar strums.
Yeah, I like those guitar strums.
Yeah.
Christmas time comes once a year. She knows this.
And then we get some kind of wailing, very atmospheric background vocals, and then a very nice main vocal delivery as that Erasure gallop takes us out of the chorus.
And in that chorus at the end, the chorus to fade part, Vince throws another keyboard riff in there, and it's like the whole way through he's been using sounds that sound very Christmassy, and things that blend together really well. And then suddenly at the end he throws this keyboard riff in it's buried kind of behind the vocals. You have to listen for it, I think, but it's a little friendly riff that's playing, but it doesn't sound Christmassy at all. It just sounds like a Vince Clarke, like he was like, oh, I used this computer on Yaz, I think I'll break it out here. And it doesn't fit with the rest of the song in terms of, the quality of the sound, but I still love it.
Yeah.
You can hear it, especially as the song starts to fade.
Oh, yes.
Some
Yes.
of the vocals drop out.
I know exactly what you mean. I call that the whistly, fluty kind of sound, which almost sounds a little bit spooky. It eventually becomes the main sound that, other than the vocals, that you hear as the song fades out.
Right,
and
right.
yeah, it
but
is.
That sound of that doesn't really mix with the rest of the song, but I still
doesn't.
like it.
Yeah, it's very strange that he put that in there. I know exactly what you mean, and it does become a little more prominent as the song fades out, and it's an interesting effect. But it's Vince, and we'll give it to him. It doesn't detract from the song at that point. The song's almost over. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, lyrically, I think this one does the them proud. We've been hard on their lyrics this time around.
Yeah.
Deservedly so. But here they come through with words that don't come off as rushed, and they fit the music really well. Now, these are not going to be the best lyrics you've ever heard
No,
from
again,
anyone.
they're not going to change your life,
Right.
probably.
But they're a giant step up from Get Hung Up on a Hook.
Exactly.
You know,
That's right. Yes, we're going to use that as our standard for bad lyrics on Erasure songs.
Yeah, really. And it's, they didn't use the same lyrics for every verse in the song like they did with that song either.
No, they tell a story.
So we get
They really do.
a nice little sad story.
Yeah, a nice sad story. Yeah,
And,
but this is something I think a lot of people can identify with, kind of I won't say a crisis of faith, but just kind of that when you're growing up and you're kind of like, I'm trying to find my place in the world and just trying to figure out how I want to be. And you know what? This year, I don't want to be with everybody that I've always been with.
Yeah.
So
Did you see the write-up on this song on that website called Into the Pop Void?
I did not.
There was a really good quote about the lyrics of the song. And it said that this one is a perfect example of a very specific genre. The Christmas song, which is so exquisitely sad that it makes you forget how stressful being at home for the holidays can actually be, and which compels you to race there immediately, laden with gifts and short-lived good intentions.
Yeah. Oh, man, that actually brings to mind, I think we mentioned this in a prior episode, I don't know, months ago. Makes me think of Love Actually. When Uncle Jamie comes back laden with presents and he sees...
I hate Uncle Jamie.
Yeah, he turns around. He's like, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to deal with all this. And he just drops all his bags and leaves.
Yep. Love that part.
Yeah, I do too. But I get where he's coming from, and I do get where Vince and Andy are coming from with this song too. But having said that, I am not going anywhere for the holidays. I'm happy to have all of my family with me, and I will be home for Christmas.
Oh, maybe I'll see you.
Yeah, perhaps.
Now, of note, and something you probably already know about if you're an Erasure fan, is something that happens at around 1 minute and 23 seconds in this song. Right around the point where Andy sings She Phones Her Mom.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's this muffled voice.
I know.
And I kind of have a sample of it here. Hopefully you can make it out. I'll just play it and see if you can hear it.
She phones her mom.
May have heard it there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, as a kid, that would drive me nuts until I realized that it was actually on the record. I cannot count the number of times I was sitting, locked up in my room, being my annoying 16-year-old self or whatever.
Yeah.
17-year-old or whatever. And I thought someone was calling me. I would constantly walking out and saying, "Did you call me?" And my mom would be like, "No, I didn't call you." Because why would she? I'm sure I was a pain.
Yeah. Like,
And,
I'd rather not talk to you.
It happened so many times.
Oh, that's
and
so
no one
funny.
ever had called me, and I could not understand why did I keep thinking I'm hearing. But that's what it was. It's
Yeah.
on this record. And
Yeah.
there's different things online of different people hearing different words in that thing. But it doesn't sound like anything in particular to me. I can't make out any particular word.
No, I could never tell what it was saying, but you could tell that it was to represent the phoning of the mom. It's like a sampling of the phone call or something.
Oh, I don't know. I always thought it was just a mistake.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure why they would make a mistake and leave it in, but
No, see, I thought it was like her calling her mom, like, "Hey, I won't be home," because that's when it comes in. It says she phones her mom.
yeah, but if that was,
Yeah,
you think it's like a Charlie Brown phone call?
kind of, yeah, like
wah, wah, wah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
That's always what I thought. I mean, like I said, you can't tell what they're saying, but it's just kind of getting across the idea, like, there's the phone call.
Maybe. So unlike the other tracks on this EP, there only seems to be one version of this song.
Oh, really?
Yep, there's no different mixes with different endings or extended versions or anything for this particular track. And in
Okay.
a way, that makes me happy because, in my opinion, this song transcends the rest of this EP.
Ah,
Regardless of how much I may enjoy the other songs. I just went and told you guys how much I love the Knocking on Your Door song.
Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful song, one of Erasure's best, but I still think that this song transcends that a little bit. And to me, this is truly a Christmas song. It's not a pop song to me.
okay.
I have fully embraced it as a part of my Christmas musical canon. And I know it's pop, but I don't think of it as pop. I think of it as a Christmas favorite.
Okay.
And, that's some pretty good company right there that this song keeps. So I don't love it as much as, say, Last Christmas, which I hold up as like a really, really classic that could compare
Yeah.
with like Bing Crosby and things like that. But I like this more than I like a lot of other famous, really well-received songs. Like, I think this is better than John Lennon's song,
Oh, really?
Happy Christmas, War's Over. I would
Okay.
rather listen to this song than that. And I love John Lennon.
Yeah.
I just think this is a better song. I love Paul McCartney. I'd rather listen to this than Wonderful Christmas Time. This is just a fantastic track. And because of the very confusing rules with EPs in
Yeah.
different countries, I don't think that this song really got its due.
I agree.
In this century, Erasure released a full-length Christmas album called Snow Globe a few years ago,
Yep.
and I wish they had thrown this song on there. Either redo it or, even better, just put this original version, because I would love to have it in the context of a full holiday record.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for those confusing rules, if they had released this song in 1988 in the holiday season as a single, I'm sure this would have been a big hit for them. It would have been.
I agree. They were in a really good period in their career right there, and if it was just on its own as a Christmas single, I think it would have really had a great shot at the Christmas #1.
Yep, it really was a missed opportunity.
I think so. I think putting this packaging is just so bizarre to me. I don't quite understand. If it was all just other songs, like, Stop, The Hardest Part, Knocking on Your Door, that's one thing. And then you throw a Christmas song on here. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, now what are you doing? Because you put 3 non-Christmas songs and 1 Christmas song, and you put it out in November.
With Christmas artwork.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't understand the rules for EPs and what do you play off an EP as the single? Do you play the first song? You only play the first song? Like,
yeah, I don't know how.
if you're
in England,
if
where
you're a
this
DJ
was
on Radio 1, what do you choose? Do you
Right.
only choose the first song? You can't play all 4.
Right. It's much easier here in America because, like we said, this was charted. This was tracked on the album chart.
Yeah.
And then we definitely had a Stop single.
Correct.
In the UK, this was on the singles chart, this whole entire EP. So,
So
it is a little confusing how
Yeah.
they knew which. Well, I guess they knew which song to play because Erasure filmed a video for Stop.
Yeah. But again, it's like they brought it out in November. Why didn't they do a video for this one and promote it for Christmas? It came out
I
at
don't know.
Christmas.
It's a missed opportunity. And I always thought that it was, with the packaging being holiday themed, but only one of the 4 songs being holiday themed.
Yeah.
I always just sort of thought that this was a holiday gift or a present from Erasure to its fans.
Oh.
Here's a little thing. It's only going to cost you $4.99.
Yeah.
And it's some new songs that you haven't heard, and one of them is a Christmas song because it's coming out in November.
All right. Well, I like that idea.
That's what I always thought.
Okay. I think that's kind of cool. I'll go with that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So you want to talk about our final grade for the EP?
Well, sure. I guess we got to. We're at the end, aren't we?
We are.
Already. Well, I don't think there's a dud on here. All 4 songs. All 4 songs are very good. We do have a little bit of problem with some of the lyrics, but musically, I think this stands up just fine. To at least a lot of their full-length albums, this is a lovely little package, like you said, wrapped up in a bow for us. I will give it a 5.
5 record adapters out of 5.
I
Now,
will.
this has got to be because you're filled with the Christmas spirit.
Yeah. Well, it's also because I do like all of these songs, and I think they, other than like I was just saying, I don't know why they put the Christmas song on here. Now that you've kind of convinced me why you think they did it, I'm okay with that. I'm going to overlook the fact that they don't blend well together as a cohesive album or 4-song little group.
Yeah.
I think the 4 songs together are very good songs, and I enjoy them very well. And yes, for sentimental reasons, which I don't normally do, I will give this a 5 out of 5 record adapters.
Very cool. Vince and Andy appreciate it, I'm sure.
That's my little Christmas gift to them.
So last week, I was complimentary to side 1 of this EP. Side 1 is very good, but side 2, both of these songs, to my ear, are classics. If you whip up a copy of this for yourself and include their version of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen as Song 5, you have the best possible version of Crackers International that you can come up with. And it's sad that version isn't available everywhere. That Crackers International 2 that did include...
the part 2, yeah.
That's a little annoying to me that they didn't make that really great version of God Rest Ye available to everybody.
Yeah, I
wish
agree.
they had done that. But I think with this record, each song is better than the prior song.
It just keeps getting better.
I called it an upward climb in my notes, but that usually has negative connotations.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So I mean that in a good way. You hear the first song and you're like, hey, that's pretty good. You hear the second song, you're like, hey, I like that even more. And that just continues. Side 1 with me, I would give it 3.5 record adapters out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Side 2 easily gets a 5 record adapters out of 5. So it's Christmas. I'm going to be generous with my rounding up of decimals and things. I think that would come out to like a 4.25 or something.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to call it a 4.5
Oh, my gosh.
overall for the entire EP.
Wow.
But I spent some time sitting there wondering to myself, should an EP carry as much weight as a full LP? Because I feel like giving 4 songs 4.5. Like I gave Tears for Fears songs from the Big Chair 4 stars.
Yeah.
Or 4 record adapters out of 5. And and I'm giving this 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
It's only 4 songs as opposed to the 8. I don't know. I'm having trouble
Yeah.
getting my brain wrapped around this ranking in EP.
Yes,
but it's Christmas time,
Yeah.
so I'm just going to say it's all good. I love these two guys and all the music they've given us,
know.
so I can afford to give them a
Yeah.
4.5 out of 5.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, you've said really very many complimentary things. There shouldn't be any reason for you to
That's right.
be uncomfortable.
Yep. And I could not imagine Christmas season without the song She Won't Be Home. It's become such a favorite song of mine.
Yeah, going on 30 years.
All right, well, we have just a few minutes before we kick off our official holiday break. I have that feeling kind of that you get when you were back in college, getting ready to kick off the holiday break. I just
Yep.
want to get to it.
Yep,
Just
yep.
want to get to it. But you did say something before we began that there was something you wanted to talk about just spontaneously off the cuff with no preparation or anything before we got out of here. And what was that exactly?
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought we could talk about another Christmas song by one of our favorite new wave artists.
I guess we could, as long as, if it's okay that we don't have anything prepared.
Sure, why not? Let's just see how we do.
All right. So what song did you want to talk about?
Well, I thought it'd be cool to talk about the Pet Shop Boys song, It Doesn't Often Snow at Christmas.
Are you listening to me? Doesn't often snow at Christmas the way it's meant to do. But I'll still have a ball at Christmas because I'll be with you. The Christmas message was long ago lost.
It's a Christmas miracle that I just happen to have a 30-second soundbite of that song on my phone here.
Well, yeah, that is pretty amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think it's great that we are going to talk about this song because I think it's very timely, especially for people in the UK. Even though Neil is singing about how it doesn't often snow at Christmas, and that's definitely true down in London and the south parts of England.
Okay.
This month, they have actually been getting quite a lot of snow and ice and very cold weather in the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Last week, they had a big storm called Caroline, and lots of areas were hit with lots of snow. Scotland, the Isle of Man, the Highlands, even down into Oxford. They were getting lots of snow. And that's not normal for this time of year, not normal for a lot of those areas. So
That's not, but we've been watching a lot of storms form off the eastern coast to the UK, Sarah, this year. Let's go to the weather map.
I know.
Oh, wait, I thought we were doing a weather
Yeah,
podcast
I know.
for a second.
I'm just turning it into a weather discussion. I think it's kind of cool.
I'm doing all the hand motions, too,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
weatherman would.
Pointing at the maps. Yeah. Meanwhile, here in Pennsylvania, we've had a couple of dustings of snow, but they've melted away pretty quickly. So I'm hoping we get snow at Christmas. I would say the Neil song is kind of correct for us as well. It doesn't often snow at Christmas here, at least anymore.
Word on the street is we may get a little bit of that good white stuff for Christmas.
Yeah, let's hope so.
So this song was released kind of in a weird way, wasn't it?
Yeah. Not to a very wide audience at first. It was 20 years ago, in fact, in 1997, that instead of a Christmas card or something else that the Pet Shop Boys would send out to their fan club, they decided to release a song just to them. And it was this song.
That's a pretty good package to get in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
Come Christmas time,
Yeah.
a special exclusive song from one of your favorite bands.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it harkens back to the days of the Beatles. You think about, they used to do special Christmas recordings for their fan club, too.
That's right. There's crazy Christmas songs.
Yeah, we have at least one of those.
Christmas time is...
Here again.
That was a crazy one.
I love that.
O-U-T spells out.
Yeah, I like that one. So that's kind of cool that they decided to pick up that tradition with this song.
But if it was just sent to fan club members, then it probably never really caught on, right?
Oh, no. Why would it? Yeah.
Until 2005.
That's right.
Well, I think before that it got released on their website, right?
That's
the
probably
first year
true.
it was a CD to the fan club, and then I think a couple years later they released it on the website as a download.
Yes, I think that is true.
And then in
Yes.
2005,
Yes.
Starbucks, the coffee chain, released a CD that I don't remember ever hearing of, but I just, for some reason, laughed out loud when I read the name of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
What, you thought that was funny?
I did. I don't know why. I just thought it was like a crazy idea for a CD. It's a CD curated by Elton John, his favorite
Yes.
Christmas songs.
Right.
And it's called Elton John's Christmas Party.
Yeah. Well, I think that would probably be a pretty amazing party to attend.
Well, I know it would be because
Well,
in the movie Love Actually that we mentioned earlier in the
right.
show, the rock singer in
Yeah.
that movie, whose name I can't think of, Billy maybe,
Yeah.
he goes to Elton
Well,
John's
he gets
Christmas
invited.
party,
Yeah.
but then he comes back to hang out with his manager.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
It must not have been as good a party as he was hoping.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe they didn't play the Pet Shop Boys.
That
Maybe.
could have been it. Could have been the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was in 2005, and that got sort of like a limited release. It was mainly released just in Starbucks.
And it just occurred to me as we're speaking about all this, that's when Love Actually came out.
that same year,
Yeah.
2005.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's so funny. So maybe it really was Elton John's Christmas Party from the movie.
So it is released officially, but still not like a wide release.
No, it was very hard to find. I mean, only Starbucks and maybe a couple other places were selling it. So, I mean, even though Starbucks is ubiquitous, it's still not like, a regular record store.
And then in 2009, we finally get an official wide release for this on another EP, Sarah.
Oh, another EP. Yeah, it's like the episode of the EP.
That's right. It's an EP that peaked at number 40 on the UK singles chart
Yes.
and hit number 10 in Sweden. And it was called Christmas.
What a great idea for a Christmas-themed EP.
Yep, so that was the Pet Shop Boys Christmas offering that month, or that year, 2009. And this Christmas EP contained a new version of one of their songs off of their album, Yes.
Right.
That had been released that year all over the world.
Yep.
And then it contained like two covers.
Yeah.
A cover of a Madness song called My Girl, and a cover of a Coldplay song called Viva La Vida.
Yes.
Mixed with Domino Dancing.
Right.
And then it also contained a brand new version of this song.
Yeah. It was remixed by, it was actually co-produced by Marius de Vries.
He brought to it more of there's some orchestra sounds in there. There's a men's choir
Yeah.
that sings a little bit. I really like when they go Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
And then in the instrumental break of the new version, we hear some Christmas songs. I think we hear "Hark the Herald Angels
Correct.
Sing" mixed
Yep.
in with the
Yeah.
Pet Shop Boys music.
There's another song I'm not familiar with, but I hear another snippet in there that I don't know, but it's apparently Once in Royal David City.
Oh, okay. I heard other music in there, but since I didn't recognize it,
Yeah.
I just assumed it was Pet Shop Boys music.
No, it's another carol.
Oh, okay. So this album came out as a single, and like we said, it wasn't a huge success for them, unfortunately, which is a shame because this is a great Christmas song.
Yeah, I agree. And then, one more time, did you know it was released just this year?
I did not.
Well, it was. It was actually included on the Further Listening bonus discs accompanying the 2017 Nightlife reissue.
Okay.
So there's another remastered version of it made available this year.
That's cool. And if you like those Pet Shop Boys Further Listening CDs and missed the early versions of them, the first couple albums that came out years ago that are now like $100 on Amazon.
Oh my gosh.
If you have to buy them used and stuff, those are coming out again early next year. I saw they're re-releasing the first 3.
Oh, yeah. I did see that as well.
So that's pretty cool. I got to jump on that because I didn't get those.
Yeah. What were you thinking?
So this song has sort of the same sentiment as the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
You're right. That's exactly right. I hadn't thought about it. You summed it up perfectly in one sentence. Well, I guess we're done talking about it now.
Christmas is just a little too commercial for Neil Tennant in this song.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the question of what is this year's festive number one is being bitingly brought forth in this song as if it's a bad thing. And the question is being posed by a man who had a festive Christmas number one in the year 1987
It's just
with Always on My Mind.
dripping with irony.
Yep.
Love it.
Come on, Neil.
Yeah.
How quickly we forget.
That's pretty funny.
So the original version of this, which is the one we play around our house, is more of a standard sounding Pet Shop Boys track. I'm kind of used to this one, and I didn't even know about the new version till just the other day.
Right.
But I kind of dig that new one. It sounds really nice.
Yeah, and I'm like you. I like the version I know, but this one has potential too. I think I will be happy to listen to it in the future and get used to it as well.
Yep, it has those cool bits of music in it that we talked about, and also just some like friendly bits of musical noodling in between lines and stuff, little high-pitched string instruments or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But both versions have some awesome big bell sounds at the beginning, and we got the great chorus.
Oh, wait, here I have the beginning.
Oh, good, yeah.
Because the beginning I thought it was cool because it is very festive, but at the exact same time, it's very Pet Shop Boys. Like you hear it and you're like,
tell.
yeah, it's the Pet Shop Boys, but it's just mixed with Christmas. Here it is. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it kind of puts me in mind of Go West.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
With the chorus there, those voices.
Definitely.
Yeah. There's some good piano in here. It actually kind of reminds me of the electronic era piano, like the piano that we hear in Getting Away with It. And it's really good kind of older piano style.
Like I said, I think the song is actually a really good Christmas song. At first, when I heard it, we hear the intro and into the first verse, and the verses are just kind of okay to me. The melody line here and the way he's singing it sort of puts me in mind of, and it's where they were at the time, but just kind of like their mid-career Pet Shop Boys style of songwriting that I'm not like a really huge fan of, and I'm thinking of albums like Bilingual and Nightlife.
Yeah.
Like, this is like the point of the Pet Shop Boys where I'm still buying the albums, and there are some good songs on those albums. Each of those albums has songs I really like, but I hardly ever listen to them the whole way through, like I do with albums before that and like the albums later, like especially like the last two, Super and Electric. I think that those two albums are both awesome, like two of their best albums ever. But there was just this period in the mid to late 90s where I didn't think they were quite as good as they always had been. But then I easily forgive them with this one when we get to this big sweeping chorus. It's just amazing.
It is.
And it'll win you over right away. It sounds very festive and it gets you in the mood for Christmas. It's just like a wonderful chorus.
And it is simple too. I mean, it's a very simple melody. It's very easy to sing along with, very easy to understand. I would say the verses have a simple melody too, but just not quite as catchy to your ear. A little harder to sing along to because they kind of go up real high in the end and, not as easy as the other ones.
Right. And it's kind of hypocritical because I often complain to you when songs have this kind of beat to them, this kind of drum track. The boots, pants, and how I don't like that. But I forgive it in this song.
I love it. I love this dance beat. I think it's fantastic. I think it has a great groovy bass line too.
The bass line is good. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
You hear it doing some fancy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's this one part, I just thought it was fun. I just took it out here to isolate this little section. It's a great combination of really good fill-in. After talking about knocking on your door right now, I'm into electronic drum fill-in. So this stuck out to me. You hear a really good fill-in, and then you hear near the end, I think, a keyboard line that sounds really neat. I just called it the fun part.
Number one.
I just love both those two components right there on top of each other.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And my favorite part of the song is near the very, very end where we get holiday well wishes from the Pet Shop Boys themselves.
And we actually hear Chris.
I know, that's the crazy thing. You hardly ever hear Chris on on
Don't
vinyl.
Often hear Chris at Christmas.
Yeah, and when
or
you do,
anywhere.
and usually when hearing him, he's complaining about something.
Yeah.
I don't like rock and roll music. But here you hear Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year
from Neil and a Happy New Year from Chris, which is a great way to end the song.
Yeah, it really is. I want to tell you something funny that I must confess to you about the beginning of the song.
Okay.
When I first heard this song, well, actually, until I looked up the lyrics for this song when we were researching for it. Oh, wait. We weren't researching. This is all after cuff.
Yeah, this is all after
Anyway, I've just come to recently learn that he is singing Around a Plastic Tree. I always thought he was saying families fighting around the blasted tree.
Really?
Like that blasted tree.
Blasted tree.
Yeah.
That's like a fake swear word that they would use in comic books and
stuff.
Commissioner Gordon would be like, those blasted criminals.
Yeah. Well, I always thought they were saying families fighting around the blasted tree, which I don't know how little he likes trees at all, but I thought maybe he really hates Christmas trees.
Well, I know what Christmas trees he probably loves.
Oh, which ones?
The Christmas trees that are on. We posted a live video of this song today on our Facebook wall. It's not really live. It says it's live, but then they sort of dubbed the studio version over top of it. It's not really him singing. But some dancers come out dressed like Christmas trees and bounce around and act all crazy. I love that. I thought those trees were delightful.
It is so much fun to watch the dancing Christmas trees. And it's not like elementary school recital kind of dancing. It's like pretty good dancing.
If you want to jump from this podcast and then listen to something that'll get you in the Christmas spirit, go to YouTube and check out It Doesn't Often Snow at Christmas live at O2.
Correct.
By the Pet Shop Boys. And you'll see what we're talking about with these festive dancing Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah. And Chris has a really amazing winter hat on, too.
Oh, yeah. He had a hat with the flaps.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of, well, like maybe something Charlie Brown would wear, but just a little bit too crazy.
I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah. So we are about ready to go away for Christmas break.
Right.
Here from the podcast.
Yeah.
And take a few weeks off to celebrate the holidays and recharge batteries and all those cliched things.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is the end of our first full year of doing the podcast.
It is. Can you believe it?
It's crazy. We did have a couple episodes in November of 2016, but it was really sort of before we got in the groove.
Yeah.
And then we really got started with it in January of this year and tried to keep to a schedule. So I was just wondering what thoughts, if any, you had on this first year of doing the show together, what some of your favorite things were, or have you enjoyed it and whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'll tell you, when you first approached me with the idea of doing this podcast, I was excited, even honored, I guess, that you would want to consider something with me. But of course, I was also nervous. And even still, as we get ready to record each episode, I'm always wondering, will I have enough information? Will it be good information? Will I be able to convey it in a halfway intelligent manner?
It's hard to know how much is enough when you take notes on these things.
Yeah, and because we don't consult with each other before we really, we don't talk a lot about the stuff until we sit down in front of each other and start talking. And I kind of still like that because it definitely adds to the spontaneity. And I think we surprised ourselves and each other with some of the things that we've found out and learned and shared. So that's been a lot of fun, doing the research that I've done and then hearing things that you've learned has been really, really fun. It's so interesting to me how many of the artists and bands we've discussed that have ties that connect them in some way, whether it's the producers or the mixers or maybe studio musicians or even like actual band members, as we've learned. That's been really fun.
Yeah.
But definitely the best thing about doing this podcast has been getting the feedback and the comments from the listeners.
That's a lot of fun.
It's so cool to know there are people out there that listen to these episodes and even enjoy hearing what we have to say. And not only have we received some nice comments, but we've also had people provide very insightful information regarding things we've discussed on our shows.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're learning from our listeners as well. So just that's awesome. So I think, meeting new people, even just online, and learning new things has been very rewarding. So that's been my favorite part of the podcast. As for my favorite episodes, that's really tough. I really have enjoyed recording all of them. I would probably say the mixtapes were the most fun.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's fun talking with you each week. Adding a third person to the conversation made it much more interesting. And Colby's music choices added a different dimension to the mixtape that you and I wouldn't have necessarily brought. So I think that was kind of fun. Mm-hmm. I also really enjoy every time we talk about Depeche Mode. That's always, just wonderful. I love doing that. I had a lot of fun doing the concert report. That was kind of when we were like, ooh, should we do it? And we decided we were just so excited we had to do it.
Yeah, talk about world spirit.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then the Cover Me / Heroes episode was great because we were already going to talk about Cover Me, but then that same morning we found out about the Heroes cover version. And we were so excited.
Same day.
Like the very morning that we were already going to talk about Depeche Mode, we're like, oh, quick, we got to get our notes together for that. We were so excited to see that video and learn about that. And now that's become our most popular episode. So.
Yeah, I had some notes about that too, about how our friends that listen to the show really like Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
And they really like Bowie because that one episode that we did with Cover Me and Heroes is by far our most popular episode.
Wow.
Which makes me really happy to see that so many people are still interested in those two acts. I hope, we had so many people download that episode compared to most everything else. And so I hope that people enjoyed that episode. But then when I thought about it, I was like, well, evidently they must not have because they didn't come back.
Oh, no.
For the next episode. That episode is such a spike in our download history.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to, pretty much where it was.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we did pick up a few people after that. It looked like, we gained some listeners. But
but nobody's stuck on.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a one-off.
Yep, I guess so.
Wow.
That was a fun one to do, though.
It was.
I really like talking about the Bowie in Berlin period.
Yeah.
That's something I like to do down the road. I think I said recently that in our little mission statement or whatever we have on the website there, we throw the 70s in there.
Right.
And that's simply because we want to at some point talk about early Queen and early Bowie.
Yeah. Even maybe more Styx, huh? If you want to share that with them. I know it's one of your favorites.
That is. So sorry to interrupt you there.
No, that's okay. Actually, that was about where I was done, talking about my favorite episodes and talking about things I've enjoyed over the past year doing this podcast. That pretty much wrapped it up. What about you?
I took some quick notes on my 3 favorite episodes.
Okay.
So my top 3 episodes that we've done this year, I've enjoyed all of them, really.
Yeah. Oh, good. Me too.
But my number 3 would probably be the mixtape episodes for the same reason that you said. Having all 3 of us, having Colby here talk with us, that was fun, and the mix format was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was less structured than what we normally do, so
Right.
it seemed like we were kind of
winging it a little bit more.
A little more spontaneous.
Yeah.
And I learned stuff from listening to you guys, along with what I had learned from my research on my songs. So
Right.
that was the episode probably where I learned more than any other thing.
I would agree.
And I would like to do another one of those every year if we can.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Kind of like a kick off the summer type thing, have a summer mixtape.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. So my second favorite was probably, even though it's not my second favorite album that we talked about, my second favorite experience and my second favorite podcast that we did was the Tears for Fears Songs from the Big Chair.
No kidding.
And that was simply because that was such a good experience for me, because I went into it thinking that Songs from the Big Chair was 4 fantastic singles and then 4 average to below average album cuts.
Uh-huh.
And I learned that that was not the case.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I love 6 of the songs on that album now, and I like a 7th one,
Uh-huh.
Broken.
Yeah.
And then I still have not been able to make myself like the song I Believe.
I understand.
But I like that album way more than I ever did before, so that was a good experience for me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And my favorite show that we did this year would probably be the Queen A Kind of Magic episode.
Oh, nice.
Simply because I could read and talk about Queen all day, which is apparently what I almost did because we had to break that episode into 3 parts.
Yeah.
But I'm so interested in the history of Queen, just personally, and I have so many books that I've read on them, and it was wonderful to be able to put some of that knowledge to use.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty proud of those episodes. I think we fit a lot of good information in those along with
Definitely.
our regular annoying opinions and nonsense that we always throw in there. And I had just a few observations on the past year, and the first one was the our listeners really do like Depeche Mode and Bowie, that we already mentioned. Another thing is that our listeners don't seem to have much interest in one of my favorite bands, Dead or Alive, unfortunately.
Aww.
We did that episode on Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know, which featured the big hit Brand New Lover, and that didn't get too well received by our downloading public, which is kind of sad because I would still love to do an episode, and I'm planning on doing it anyway, an episode on Youthquake, which is my favorite Dead or Alive album, and of course everyone knows You Spin Me Round Like a Record.
Right. So whatever side that's on, I'm sure that side will get a ton of downloads, and then the other side maybe not.
Yeah. I would also even kind of be interested in doing an episode on their first album, Sophisticated Boom Boom, simply because to annoy you, because Wayne Hussey's in the band at that point in time, so I could talk about the Mission.
Gee, thanks. That's so kind of you.
Yeah. We'll have to at least do Youthquake, even though people seem to not be crying out for it. And then I would say the best thing about doing the show, like you said, is meeting a lot of the very nice and very interesting folks online through the podcast.
Right.
I think you'd agree talking music with people is one of our favorite things to do.
Definitely.
And it's been a pleasure to exchange emails, direct messages, tweets, comments, whatever. You guys are great, and we really appreciate everyone who listens to our show, even if you don't reach out to us. It's just fun to share the love of music with all of you. Oh, and also talking about messages and tweets and comments and all that stuff. Don't forget, between now and the 26th, send us an email, a Facebook message, or a direct message on Twitter telling us what was your favorite episode of this year, and you will be entered in our little random drawing to win the Thompson Twins Into the Gap vinyl.
That's right.
Don't forget about that. We're anxious to give that away to someone other than my sister, who, if you remember last week, I let everyone know she threatened to enter and win because she doesn't think anyone else is going to enter.
Hey, now.
Okay, so like we said, this is going to be our last show of 2017. I can't believe we lasted a year.
Yeah, I know. You weren't sure, but we did it.
So we will talk to you again in 2018. And in the meantime, if you celebrate any of the festive December holidays, we wish you the best.
That's right.
For those holidays. And if you don't, we want to at least wish you a Happy New Year and some just general positive vibes.
That's right. Good vibes to all, no matter what.
Yep, you guys are the best. So we're already looking forward to next year when we're going to finally get a chance to talk to you about Culture Club, some Duran Duran.
Yes, I think we've had some clamoring for Duran Duran lately.
Some actual David Bowie.
Oh, yeah.
I bet we better stop there, though, Sarah. We don't want to get people too worked up with excitement.
Yeah, they'll really be bugging us now. When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that?
That's right. We can't give too much away.
Nope.
Happy holidays to everyone. Take care, folks, and we will see you next year.
Yep, looking forward to it.